From comedy clubs to television to feature films, this lady has delivered the goods. She's bold, sassy, piercing, vivacious, and really funny. Ladies and gentlemen, Margaret Cho!
Thank you so much. Now I need a vacation now. I have not had a vacation for months. The last time was like Christmas. I went to Calistoga up north for mud baths and relaxation, and it was so fucking boring. I was like, we gotta go. I cannot listen to any more Enya. Get this twig out of my ass. So thank you very much for coming. This is a very exciting evening. I think things have been going very well for me over the past year. I recently won the American Comedy Award for Best Female Stand-Up of 1993. Thank you. It was the best night of my entire life because I was seated at the same table as Rosie Perez. And I won my award and I went up to go get it, and my date was so excited. He was shaking Rosie Perez like, I can't believe she won! I can't believe she won! And Rosie's like, I can't believe you touching me. I think that's the best thing about living in Los Angeles, seeing celebrities. I saw the best celebrity I've ever seen in my life. 2 weeks ago, driving down the street from my house, I saw Prince. And let me tell you, he is a sexy motherfucker. He's like 3'9". He was sitting on phone books in his car. My friend once saw Prince in Minneapolis on the bus. My friend was on the bus, and Prince gets on with these two beautiful women, I guess Diamond and Pearl. And Prince goes right up to my friend and he goes, do you know who Prince is? And my friend goes, yeah. And Prince goes, good. That is so cool! I'm gonna do that. When I get famous enough, I'm gonna get on the bus, go up to some guy and go, do you know who Prince is? I hope I get famous enough. I think I might be on my way. I just got my own TV show. It's called All American Girl, and it's very... Thank you. Took a long time to agree on that name. You know, I wanted it to be called The Margaret Cho Show because I'm such a fucking egomaniac that I couldn't have it any other way, and they had their own suggestions. East meets West. Walk on the Wild Side. W-O-K, walk. So I had a huge tantrum and said, fuck you, we're gonna call it Chinkies. It's Goop's place or we're not doing it. But the show is All American Girl, and it's a great show. We've got a great cast. It's going to be really, really funny. And my family on the show is a lot like my real family, except my mom isn't exactly like my real mom, which is kind of good because if my real mom was actually on the show, she would totally suck. Like, she could never do promos, you know. Ain't not even for home improvement! She'd just sound crazy. So I'm really excited about it. I'm gearing up to do this whole thing on a diet. I've been on a diet for a long time. I initially went on it because I was in Tampa, Florida at the airport, and I was standing there, and an old man walks over to me and he says, "Excuse me, but are you Japanese?" "No, I'm Korean." "Oh, really? That's very interesting because I was looking at you and I knew that you were not Filipino. I have many Filipino friends and you do not look Filipino because you're very husky." Some kind of a compliment? "Oh, no, it's not bad. You're just very strong, very husky." Like I'm wearing Sears Toughskins or something. Very husky. So that happened, and then a couple weeks after that, I was hanging out with my friend Ishi, who weighs about 300 pounds, and we're talking, and for some reason, she puts her arm around me, and she says, "You know what, Margaret? We big girls have to stick together." There is something about my personality that makes people believe they can be completely honest with me, and I fucking hate that. I was working at a school in Florida, and the hospitality guy came to pick me up at the airport. Really nice guy. We're talking in his car, and he says, "You know, you're my favorite comedian because you look exactly like my sister." I said, "Oh, really? Do you have a picture?" And he showed it to me, and she was so ugly. Didn't know how to react. You know, what the fuck is this supposed to mean? I'm too sensitive, I think. When I first started working on the show, I went to go meet with the powers that be, the people that are sort of seeing over everything, and we had a great meeting all day, and then I get home that night and I get a phone call from one of the executives saying, "God, Margaret, it was really great to see you today, and it was really wonderful, and I'm really excited about the project. But we just had a meeting, and we thought it would be a really good idea if you lost 10 pounds before we started shooting." Now, the fact that they said that is fine, but just the idea that these people had a meeting to discuss my big fat ass. Unrolled a picture of me. Here are the problem areas we need to target. I have to get used to this, though. People will say these things, and it's fine. I was in New York, and I got a write-up in the Village Voice, and the writer really liked my show, and he was very, very complimentary, but he described me this way: funny, sexy, zoftig Margaret Cho. What is zoftig? Isn't that German for big fat pig? I guess I should be glad. You know, zoftig is kind of a nice word. He could have said funny, sexy, obese Margaret Cho. Zoftig definitely is better, but I could not stop hearing that word for days afterwards. Zoftig. Everywhere I went, zoftig, zoftig, zoftig. Even restaurants. "Would you like something to start? A zoftig, perhaps?" A what? A soft drink. Oh. Yeah, give me a Coke. A Diet Coke. But, you know, it's okay. I have a trainer now. His name is Vinny. He sounds like his name is Vinny. He comes over and he's like, "All right, okay, now we're gonna do lunges. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait, I lost count. I gotta start over." But, you know, he was telling me that I really don't have a fat body. And I know, I don't have a fat body. I just have a really big head. And I don't know how I'm gonna lose weight in my head. What kind of crunches do I have to do? Big heads are good for some things, though. Like television commercials, which normally I don't really think I'm right for. Like, I could never sell douche because I do not look fresh at all. I'm the anti-fresh. I hate those commercials anyway. I got so mad one day because I was watching TV and in the morning I saw this woman and she was in a Monostat 7 commercial, and that same day I saw the same woman in an Always Maxi Pad commercial, and I'm like, look honey, I know way too much about your vagina. Actually, I'm not really allowed to say the word vagina because I don't even use mine, so... Does anybody want it? You could put like books in it or something, I don't know. Use it like a planter. It's got an equalizer. I have not had sex in almost 2 years. And I think once you hit 2 years, you automatically get your virginity back. You get to start over. And I'm about to. What is wrong with me? I don't understand. I'm just gonna have to trick somebody into doing it. Use trickery. I'm gonna have to cover with leaves and hope somebody falls in. That's gonna be the only way. I think I would be really hot if I didn't talk. That's my problem. I just have a big mouth and I just say the wrong things, but I don't know. Like, it's weird. I try. I have one pickup line which never works. This is what I do. If I'm at a club and I see a guy that I like, I'll smile, and if he smiles back, I feel comfortable. And when I feel really comfortable, I'll walk over and I'll say, "Stick it in!" So, as you know by now, I'm Korean. I don't have a store or anything. Well, not anymore. I look very Korean. I have very typically Korean features. I look like one of those girls that you would see in a Korean grocery store on a calendar, holding a box of soy milk. Drink Vita Soy, it's good for you. I have a Korean name. My Korean name is Moran, which is a pretty name, but you have to understand I've heard my mother scream it from across the hills. Moran! Moran! What? I'm sure you can relate. When I get famous enough, I want to have my own fragrance and have it be called Moran, and have the ads be old Asian women coming out of French doors, like in the Egoist ad. Moran! Don't you think that's sexy? It's just, it's so hot. My mother is convinced that everybody in show business does drugs. She's like, oh, you cannot go to the club because they take the drug. The people that take the cocaine. And then they take the D. What is it? The D, the L, the D, the D. Mom, it's LSD. How do you know that? My mother has a problem with blind intersections. She will sit there for a very long time and rant. They never give you a chance! So since I was about 10 years old, almost all of my friends have been gay men. And my mother would give me phone messages from them when they would call me when I lived at home. Scott called. Is he the gay? Well, God, Mom, I don't know if he's the gay. That's a lot of pressure to be the gay. All of that resting on one guy. He has to do the parade all by himself. I'm here. I'm queer. I guess I'm the only one. My parents are very conservative, but surprisingly gay positive. In the late 70s, we owned a bookstore in San Francisco on Polk Street, which then was a huge gay mecca. And my mother, for some reason, was in charge of the gay pornography section. So every day she would walk over there. I don't know why we have this book. Moran? What is an ass master? Mom, I have no idea what an ass master is. Is it like a thigh master? I don't know. Is he the master of the ass? What is it? What is that master? The most harrowing experience I ever had with my mother was one time I wanted to go see this movie with my friends, and she would not let me go with my friends. She had to come with me. So I had to go see The Wall with my mom. Halfway through the movie, somebody actually passed her a joint. What is this? I don't smoke. I don't know why they give this to me. That's so... I'm going to buy popcorn. My whole family is really bizarre, but my brother is the weirdest by far. He's very strange. He's 20, and he used to be a surfer, but now he's a born-again Christian. And he's constantly trying to convert me. It's so weird. He comes up to me and he says, Margaret, have you accepted Jesus Christ as your personal savior? Hey, where are you going? Bitch. I taught Sunday school for 2 years and I got fired. I abused my authority. I used to teach class like this. Okay, if one more person talks, everybody is going to hell. I used to keep a list on the board of who was going to burn. We did nice things in Sunday school, like we used to send money to underprivileged children overseas, which is a great cause, but sometimes I couldn't help but feel emotionally manipulated by some of the literature they'd send us, so we'd send them more money. Just outrageous accounts of these poor children.
Lu Chen lives in a village with her 35,000 brothers and sisters. They live in a cardboard box. Here she tells a tragic story of the poverty that she must endure every day.
Today I went to the market to buy a chicken head. But I did not have enough money, so I had to sell my finger. I just use television to escape from my family. You know, I just use TV sort of as a way out. And I watched it obsessively. My favorite show of all time has to be Charlie's Angels. Except I don't think it should have been called Charlie's Angels, though. I think it should have been called And Then There's the Hoe. Let me explain. When there are three girls that are friends, there's always one sweet one smart one, and then there's the hoe. Check amongst yourselves. Which one are you? And I know there's a lot of Asians here, so it doesn't count if your last name is Ho, by the way. My hair was so feathered that the back of my head looked like a butt. My hair was more feathered than Blair's on Facts of Life. I loved all those shows. I loved The Love Boat. I think that was the best night of television ever, The Love Boat Fantasy Island Saturday night. And if you were really lucky, sometimes people from The Love Boat would go to Fantasy Island. That was almost too much. We used to play a drinking game called the Love Boat Drinking Game, and what you do is you pick a character at the beginning of the show, and every time that character came on screen, you would drink. You could always spot the alcoholics, because they're the ones going, I want to be the ship! Drinking was a big part of my teenage years. I used to take a thermos and go in my parents' liquor cabinet, open it up, and take out a little bit of alcohol from every bottle that was in there, and fill it back up with water. So in the thermos, there was a really gross combination of Cutty Sark and Johnny Walker Red and Kahlua and beer. And you would take that thermos to, like, the Night Ranger concert. Sister Christian! Woo! And it was like the worst alcohol. It was the kind of alcohol that would make your best friend barf out their retainer. That is like the worst thing that can happen to you, barfing out your retainer. Because you can see it coming out, it shoots out, kind of clatters to the ground, and the worst thing about it is you know that has to go back in your mouth. I was obsessed with Saturday morning cartoons, which I still love. But then it was always so sad because you knew it was all over when Soul Train came on. But Soul Train was a great show, as was American Bandstand and Dance Fever and The Ultimate Solid Gold. I love all those shows because I love the music of the 80s. It was such an "Oh, Mickey, you're so fine" time, you know? It was such an 8675, 309 time. And my family never had any money then, so I couldn't buy records or tapes or anything, so I would tape songs off the radio. I'm sure you did that before, right? Yeah. Except I didn't have a radio inside my tape deck, so I had to hold the radio up to the tape deck. So in all my old tapes, you can hear my mother screaming at me. Come on, Alina. What is the ass master? K-Tel just released a 5-CD compilation entitled Rock of the 80s. We will be listening to this music forever. In 50 years, we'll all be in some senior citizen center somewhere going, oh, put on Hungry Like the Wolf again. I had a terrible racial incident happen recently in Manhattan, of all places. I was with a friend of mine Japanese comic named Kevin Kataoka, a really great guy, and we're walking down the street, and a group of teenagers ran up to us and started screaming, "Fucking chinos ruin everything!" And we weren't really upset at first because we weren't sure whether they were talking about us or the pants. Because they could be either really racist or really fashion conscious, you know. You don't know. I was staying at a little bed and breakfast in Michigan, and they had a kitchen that I could use, and I was really excited because I never get to cook my own meals. So I went, I bought all this food, and I brought it back, and I asked the woman there if she had anything I could cook with, and she says, "Oh, yeah. Do you need a wok?" Yeah, and some 1,000-year-old eggs if you've got them. You stupid bitch, what do I look like? Martin fucking Yan? I don't think so. I think racism is the biggest disadvantage to being Asian in America, but if I were to choose, I think the biggest advantage to being Asian in America is that if you're at an airport or a bar or something and somebody comes up and talks to you and you don't want to talk to them, you can just pretend you don't speak English. Oh no, I don't know.